Hi, Sandi Maki here with a little bit of heavy breathing just after midnight. I've been getting in my own way lately. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but it seems to go in cycles. I guess everything will be going really well and everything makes a lot of sense in life. And then all of a sudden, something stops making sense, and then something else stops making sense, and pretty soon you're second guessing everything that you're doing and really not sure how to get out of this kind of spin that you find yourself in. At least that's what I found was going on with me. And then one by one I started maybe eliminating activities that I thought were keeping me from being in the flow with things. And I think exactly the opposite was true. Instead of bringing me more into the flow, it was bringing me less into the flow. It was interrupting things that were already happening. And I don't know why this happens. And I do know it seems to go in cycles, or one thing seems to follow another. I think when we get off of the now is really when it happens the most. And in today's society, in the way that we interact with the world, I know at least it's true for me, I have a hard time allowing myself to be in the now, and I think we, in general, have a hard time letting each other be in the now. Because if it seems like things are going in a way that we don't want, we try to get them back to the way that they were. Or if they're one way now, then we try to change it so it's different in the future. But at no point in that equation do we stop and just revel in what is. A lot of conversations with someone that you haven't seen in a while go like this. Hey, how are you doing? I'm great. How are you? Last time we talked, you were, fill in the blank. How is that going? Or do you have any of this planned, as it's maybe consistent with something that you've been doing? At no time do we just look each other in the eye and say, how is now for you? What's going on now? Not what have you done in the past or what do you anticipate in the future, but your now moment that's happening right here, right now. How is that? What's going on in that moment? So in addition to getting in our own way, which I think comes from either projecting ourselves into the future or into the past, we forget to allow ourselves to be in the now, and we forget to allow each other to be in the now. So I have decided, in this now moment, that I am going to quit being in my way. I'm going to find the exuberance in each moment that's approaching me. I'm going to find the humor in it, the fun in it, sometimes the sadness, and even the aggravation. Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And this is what we get to play with. And involved in that play comes happy, sad, mad, angry, agitated, blissy, delighted, peaceful, and everything in between. I was having a conversation with someone probably sometime last week, and we were talking about emotions, and we were talking about how when you try to hold back an emotion, it just seems like it takes so much energy. But when you let it go, when you let yourself have the emotion, it probably lasts 30 seconds to a minute. And then you can go on with your day. I don't know if you've ever tried that, if you've had something coming on in your now moment, and you were so anxious to get to the next moment, you wanted the next moment to be so great that you started shoving back that emotion that was coming, instead of letting it just roll through you. I encourage you, if you ever find yourself doing that, and you can realize it's a now moment, let the feeling come through, and then see how quickly it dissipates. A lot of the times when it comes to emotions, we remember the way that we felt. We have experienced, whoever they are, they say we've experienced all the emotions that we're ever going to experience by the time we're 7. You're happy, you're sad, you're peaceful, you're bliss. We don't necessarily understand all these things before we're 7, but we've experienced a wide variety of emotions by the time that we're 7. And they, again, whoever they are, the people who've studied this and come up with theories about it, say that from that point forward, anytime we feel an emotion, it's actually triggering a memory of the first time that we felt it. I think that's why feeling like a kid is so powerful, especially the happy stuff. And sometimes the sad stuff, or sometimes the stuff that scares us or makes us fearful. Because if we first experience those as a child, then not only do we feel in the now moment the emotion coming, but it also releases a little bit of that memory from before. Now moments are important. And I know that in a now moment, you can experience a whole lot of different emotions all at the same time. You can have happy and sad, and they can coexist. You can have peaceful and frantic, and they can coexist. And when you let them be what they are, emotions, things that are coming through you instead of who you are or what you're doing, then you can observe them in a little bit more of a neutral way. And I know you might be listening to this and you might be saying, yeah, Sandi, you are full of shit. Because believe me, on days when I have emotions rolling through me, even if I know that I should just let them be, sometimes I say that to myself as well. But I know that it's true. Deep down, I really know it to be true. That my emotions are not me. I am not my emotions. And what's going on in any given moment is just that, something going on in that moment. And instead of trying to run away from those moments, instead of trying to go back to the way things were when, or the way I felt when, because wow, I had a really awesome week of the way I felt when back in October. And I can anticipate the way I'm going to feel when something comes up new in the future. I know that those are there, but I can't live them before or later. I have to live my moment now and take with it in its perfection everything that's happening in this now moment. So I am getting out of my own way. I am embracing all that this new abundant year for me has to offer. And instead of thinking about the way things were then, or the way things are going to be later, I'm going to appreciate the way things are now and observe what I can do to be in the flow with things so that every moment is at peace instead of orchestrated or feeling like I could have, would have, should have, am supposed to, or any other emotion that is anything other than simply being. Thanks for listening. Until next time, just be, because you're perfect.